Welcome to Team Perry's Step Out of Line podcast, featuring co-hosts Perry and Lori Finkelstein. Together, they explore, meet, and share inspirational stories with guests who have made a positive impact in today's world. This podcast resonates with our hope to make this world a better place one step at a time through love, acceptance, and uplifting conversations.
I think I've always had to step out of line just because I never fit any of the norms that I was supposed to fit in life. And I was a short, white Jewish kid and wanted to be a professional basketball player. So, I never had to follow the norm there because no one thought I could do what eventually I became to be. And even when I stepped into a different space business-wise, like production, you want to do that, you can't do that. So all those things have been such a great way for me to always be open and receptive to really grow and step into the space of the things that I wanted to become and be.
How old were you when you knew you wanted to be a basketball player, and who was your role model?
Michael Jordan. I was a 90s kid, so I got to grow up with Michael Jordan, and I probably tried to emulate him way too much in the competitive edge and the competitive side, because I just was able to. We used to have these VHS tapes, and for people who don't know what VHSs are, they're these things that you used to play movies and film on. And I'd watch all these things, and I just started studying them like crazy when I was like 4 or 5 years old. This guy is the most competitive, and he wants to do and be the best, and he was and is the best. I got to do what he does. And if I'm able to do that, there's things I can take away and be good at that. I kind of understand I was doing that then now, but I just remember it like it was yesterday, just watching those VHS tapes, hearing the stories about how crazy competitive he was. And, that really drove me. And, from talking with people who watched me play growing up to now, I always just have the heart right on my sleeve, and my passion really shows. And I think I've been able to carry that straight over to everything I do. So I really enjoy it.
And you went to Syracuse for undergraduate and you played ball there. And then afterwards, you presented with the opportunity to go to Israel and play ball. Did you get dual citizenship?
I went to make Aliyah so I could become, because there would just be, as a business-wise, there'd be more opportunity to sign as an Israeli player, but you can also sign as an American player, but there's more roster spots. So I went with that process to start. I was only there for like a month, maybe 2 months. Different contract disputes. So I was already went to Canada next for another basketball professional job. So there was a lot of quick bouncing around and traveling, and playing in Syracuse was like, I got to experience what it's like to be a rock star, playing at that place with, 30,000 people who probably care and breathe about Syracuse basketball more than some of us do as players. And so it's a really cool opportunity to represent people in that way, and, have people represent you and have your back as an athlete. It's a really unique experience, and I'm really grateful for it.
You were able to travel the world. You were in Kuwait and you were teaching kids how to play basketball in like a clinic. Basketball enabled you to do all of this and to live out your dream of traveling and teaching and learning.
I think a lot of people in the travel community, digital nomads or writers and creators in the space, they really see traveling as a privilege. And, I don't think enough Americans know what it's like to have a passport where you can kind of go anywhere, speak English almost everywhere, and be open, and people are accepting and warming wherever you go. In Kuwait, I kind of wanted to go there because in the Arab world, comparative to what you grow up and learn in the United States, is only one image you have sometimes of, other people in the Middle East. So that was a really great, rewarding and growth experience to go and live there and work there. It was great to kind of make the segue out of playing professionally, and I was coaching there. But yeah, once I got the travel bug, when I made my first trip before I went to play professional in Europe, it kind of been like, okay, this traveling thing's a lot of fun. Being able to really enjoy the beauty that planet Earth has to offer, whether that's the people on it, they're all nice. The majority of people in the world are nice, and it's just a beautiful planet to travel, explore, and spend your time while you're alive to see and do. And you can go explore the world, get the opportunity to take a job in a different country doing things that you might enjoy or want to learn to do. I can't advise people to do that more.
How did you segue from basketball to everything that you do with your production company?
I had left Kuwait and was trying to figure out what I was going to do next in life. I ruptured my kidney in a basketball game there, so I couldn't really play and do stuff anymore too. So I had to get surgery here, get that taken care of, and then kind of figure out what I want to do next. Doing anything new, when you have to step out of line, is you have to go from being like the top 1% of your skill or your trait, and then you have to lower yourself down to being like, your ego has to completely surrender, because now you're like a regular, you're like a human again, and you got to learn the basis of your new skill and trait. So it was very challenging. It was very, scary in the sense that, you want quick action and response and results, and they don't happen like that. A lot of slip ups, a lot of blunders. But the first one, On the Bus podcast and On the Bus Productions, was great. I had this idea of, I'm the bus driver and I want this show, and I got one of my good friends to join the show in company with me, and we ended up actually buying a school bus and raising money on a Kickstarter and driving it to South America and creating our own TV show out of that. So, kind of like me
So why not? Why not, Brandon?
Not being afraid to step into new roles and responsibilities. Yeah, it's definitely taken a toll on my physical, mental, and emotional side. But getting to learn the challenges hands-on is an experience sometimes you can't emulate or learn in school or even as a intern. So getting to do it for yourself and manage other people and work with other people and doing it in a crazy environment like that was such a cool experience. And after On the Bus, I just pivoted into bus driver productions on my own. And it became like a way to, all the skills and traits I'd learned over the 2 or 3 years with On the Bus, to start selling my skills to other people. So I probably created over 1,000 podcast shows in the past 4 years since I did On the Bus, 5 years maybe. I've gotten to work with a lot of cool people, worked with a lot of companies, made a lot of branded content, whether it's for Salvation Army, Al Jazeera Plus, Christmas tree companies, news companies, and it's taken me all around the world as well. So, everything's kind of been a vehicle to getting to learn, getting to interact with people doing really cool things. And it's kind of like your re-education process. You don't want to go to school, but if you can learn from people around you and the world around you, with adding value to those people's stories or journeys or whatever it is they do, it's made life and my job always exciting. Integrity wise for me, I don't want to overpromise what I can't deliver. So I've taken a step back from being a yes man and trying to do all these things. So I only promise a certain skill set and a certain product. And I also just want to make sure I can really connect with the individual, the company or the brand, whoever we're working with, so I can really project and relay their message. And I really think that's why people might hire me for doing whatever it is they want to do creatively, because I'm going to be a hard worker, but also I'm going to try and really understand who they are, what their product is, or what their mission is, so we can really let people see and know the message they're trying to convey.
When Perry first wanted to start her podcast and she didn't know
everything,
just the words that you gave to her enabled her to look further and to figure out how to do it on her own.
Forget, what the impact you can have with somebody and for somebody. But also I do know that because, I've had so many people in my life who wanted to take the time because they saw something in me, or, they just stopped to show that they care. And I think that's something, if we claim to be living in such an abundant country and such an abundant life that we all have to support, to share, and to donate, whether that's time or money. I mean, because, what else is it for if you're not going to use it and share it, whatever is the message, money, and your time. It's would make the world a real nicer place.
It could be the coach in you or the fact that you're a team player. What would be your favorite project that you've worked on, being that you've had such a diverse amount of clients and people that you work with?
I'm really loving the personal projects I'm doing. I've been putting together these, just recreating a music video, a culmination of the content that I shoot throughout the year. I did also in terms of like other projects I like, then I've gotten a few like more like permissions and availability to do them, is there's this French production company called Circle, CERCLE, and they do these really cool electronic music sets and performances like around the world, like from very exotic locations. They get like really tough permits, like to do a music like set right under the Great Pyramid of Giza, and they got 4 or 5 like full production company, amazing things. And I was talking with a music label, Dirty Bird in California, and they reached out to me during the pandemic to shoot 3 of those sets for their artists. And so I kind of got to recreate 1 or 2 of my own in California. And it was like some mansion in the Hollywood Hills. And so it's a drone, the lights and all the cool stuff. So getting to do that was like really cool, because, you know, it's not necessarily you have to copy what somebody's doing or come up with the most unique original thing, because it's really, really hard to do. But you can take something cool that someone's doing and make it from yourself and give your own stamp on it. So doing that was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to shoot some more of those while I'm here in Florida, like in the middle of the Everglades or something, or on some small little patch of sand in like the Bahamas or Bimini, and just place a performer there and just get all the cameras going and see what we can make.